Snaps to the rockets. For the love of the chopsticks. Right up from the plug and I pop shit. Faced with immeasurable odds. Some of you niggas found pleasure in God. Measuring rod, they treasure their jobs. Athletic build, moving with purpose. Tapped in the magnetic fields. Moving with serpents. Took my brokers a stroker. Al Roker couldn't predict the storms that follow. The porn that follow. Same a tree, they fall for valor. We make it rain and we burn money. Bentley truck, interior burnt honey. Anyway, I take respect over riches any day. I take neck from your bitches any day. Anyway, that's a neck full of riches any straight. Shifting through paradigms, the color of Geechee Dan. Shifting through the Carolines, color in the Geechee land. Time will tell. We move around the 33rd parallels, like Coney Island carousels. Fell asleep in Roswell, woke up in Cozumel. Pyramid hopping, chariot shopping. Number one seller, author of conscious fiction. Composition, confidence dripping. Continent drifting, a walking contradiction with a contra addiction. Brooms and mops, Mr. Clean, we conquered the kitchen. Facts and fictions, contrary to popular predictions. Red pill, popping your prescription, stopping your addictions. Yeah, bitch, I'm with the hoes. Black magic, yeah, bitch, I'm with the souls. Anything goes, cooking in Brooklyn. Cocaine to push, new strains of the kush. We call that Hussein in the bush. We from distant lands. Our DNA, different strands, different strains. Same planet, but different planes. Citizen Kane, Rosebud, they wanna get us in chains. Rosewood, the safety, stay off position. K's positions. Never took a day off in kitchens, way off in pitching. These bitches out here fighting for fashion over crashing rovers, gassing over 3 times. Pre-crime, Versace from your heyday, on layaway like Takashi and Treyway. Hopping with the AK, the war is on double consciousness. The devil's competence and accomplishments. When rhetoric turns into reason, the predicates turn into heathens. And the wolf in Connecticut is seasoned. Soon after disease was followed. I'm the same nigga that the D's would follow. Marlowe, my fam grew moving trees like Rollo. Before they seized the Gallardo. Went from Pablo, hopping out Diablos. Designer robes, dark side of the moon like the China probes. Believe it or not, my mind is all Wrigley's. Believe it or not, my mind on the big leagues. Ice Cube with the big threes. Vine in the fig tree. Man on the big B's. Moving back in time like the Frisbees.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I feel like playing that again. That is Bill Bixby right there. That's the first. I don't even know if that's a single. That's just a freestyle to keep it a buck with you. That's something me and Kambada cooked up when we got back in the lab to begin working on the Scorpion King Part 2 called American Gods. You know what I'm talking about? I was going to name it $ Phil Moreland, like my Cash App. I was gonna name the album $ Phil Moreland, Scorpion 2, but I'm going with American Gods with a Z. So that's gonna be fire. You know, that's just when you hear the story about how that came about, you're gonna be surprised. I ain't gonna put that cat out the bag, but that's really just that's like a freestyle. That's just something that's been, waiting to be said. Just some bars, you know what I mean? Just to warm things up because it's a lot more music this in the chamber. You know what I mean? It's some powerful music that's being made. It's some powerful creations that's being made. So let's do the roll call. How rude of me. I didn't even get into the roll call. Let's stay in tradition, okay? Thank you, Paula Moore. Shout out to Paula Moore. Uh, Yeah, and we'll take some pre-orders for the Bill Bixby single that has to get mastered and mixed down. There's no ad libs. Like it's a real raw reference. Like that's a reference that that I'm giving you. I'm keeping a buck. You know what I'm talking about? But the shit just works for me. So I don't know. You know, I'm about putting out music in its raw essence. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, LA is in a building. Cali, shout out to Cali. We will see y'all soon. We'll be back out there soon. We have a big announcement about the Cali, the Los Angeles date and what it is. We're gonna do monumental and historic. Phoenix, AZ, Seattle, uh, Colorado, Bushwick, Rochester, South Side of Chicago, VA by way of P-Way. Shout out to Empress B, 444. Brock just sent me 444. Atlantic City in the building. Shout out to you, Brock, with the Cash App. We got to get the cash register back on the Cash App because I need my sound effects. Every time that shit hits, I need the coins to fall. I remember that was the best sound in the world before. You feel me? When we used to be on the show, remember the earlier shows when the Cash Apps, the coins would fall? It sound like Sonic the Hedgehog. Caribbean is in the building. Shot Time is in the building. Vegas. Salute to Vegas. Yes, salute Professor Griff. Uh, we're gonna be in Houston. Me and Professor Griff is gonna be in Houston and Blue Pill. We're gonna be in Houston in June. So put that on your calendar. The second weekend of June. Red Pill, Professor Griff, Blue Pill, Fear of a Black Planet 2, the media manipulation on hip hop. And you know we got fully loaded clips for that. Alright. Dallas, Texas in the building. Milwaukee's in the building. Kansas City, Missouri is in the building. Buffalo, New York. What they call it? Rough Buff? Huh. Dallas is in the building. Okay. We come into Dallas when we go to Houston too. We're gonna come to Dallas on a weekday. Uh, our life is a Game of Thrones. We're gonna talk about that. Man, all these rappers and these shootings. Alabama's in the building. Alabama's in the building. Hold on. Somebody said, bring that to the A. Don't act funny. Tired of y'all posting up for a few days and not giving us this truth. All right. Blue Pill has been living in an Atlanta for months now. Mama Pill lives in Atlanta. You feel me? I used to live in Atlanta. I don't live in Atlanta. You know, so the people are in Atlanta as you're in Atlanta. My brother is in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like the food is being made, the healing is being done, the herbs are being distributed. You know what I mean? Like the brother's active, fully active. So tap into Blue Pill if you're in the A because he's out there and he'll be out there for a while. West Palm Beach, Florida. Yes, indeed. We are not the same. I am a sovereign. We are not the same. I am a problem. You got that right. Peace to Connecticut. Peace to Central Texas. Peace from London, UK. And we're going to be at the Malcolm X Fest this weekend in the A. The Malcolm X Fest this weekend in Atlanta. You already know that's the beginning of the festival seasons for us, for this community. That kicks off the festival season, and we will be there. You know. Okay. So yes, Darian. So I'm gonna touch the A. I'll be out there, but you know, as a man who has a son, you know, who I'm responsible for. I wish I could travel, and a daughter who I'm responsible for. I wish I could travel more and move around the 33rd and 44th parallel, you know, like the navigator that I am. But, you know, we have responsibilities. You feel me? Oakland is in the building. Shout out to Oakland. Town business. I got love for the Oak. I got love for Oakland. Big love. I look forward to doing stuff out there very soon. Workshops. That's another thing. my manager wanted me to put this out there that, to let the family know, the promoters. I've been getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails and inquiries, so I'm gonna just put it out there that there's some dates that are open on the calendar for the remaining summer. So if there's any promoters or anybody that are looking to book us for any workshops, or if there's anybody that's looking to bring us to their city to speak during the summer months, I'm talking about July and August, September, going in September as well, hit me on a DM, contact me, and reach out. You know what I mean? Because we're putting this calendar together, and we want to fill in the rest of these slots, but it's filling up fast. Yeah, the Dallas stop. I'm coming to Dallas after we're gonna do a Sunday date, June the 9th in Houston. The 8th is gonna be Loaded Lux versus Averb with the URL. Gnome 7 is gonna be in Houston. I'll be there. I'll be at Loaded Lux versus Averb. That is a fact. That's in Houston. That's a factory. I will be there in the building with Loaded to hold my guy. That's my guy right there. So he needs, he's gonna need, yeah, Gnome 9, he's gonna need the gods with him. Like, I'm 10 toes down when it comes to shit like that. So I gotta be there for that history. So I'll be in Houston. The next day, I'll be doing something with Professor Griff. But the day before Gnome 9, on the Friday, I'll be doing a pop-up / workshop in Houston dealing with the Facts 2020 initiative and the facts2020.org. Okay? And shout out to the thousands of the people. I'm talking literally, and this is on mama. The thousands of people who have signed up to facts2020.org already. And I haven't even, we gave it a soft launch. We launched it on Melanin Monday, I believe, and then we put the commercial up. So the response has been overwhelming. I'm actually in the lab doing a lot of the building and, just moving forward, just doing what needs to be done. So I'm hearing, I'm glad that the family hears the call and they're answering the call, and that's what's needed. CT in the building, peace to CT, peace to H-Town. For all of the family that's out there, all of these cities and states that I called out, this is what's up. The fact that there's two things at play. One, I don't ever have to step foot in your city, and you and I could already, exchange information, or you could receive information by what you're doing right now, and that's a live stream. I named half of Black America. I named all of Black America. Do you get tickets to the Malcolm X Fest? No, I don't believe there's tickets. It's an open festival. But you come there and you'll be overwhelmed with the amount of vendors and the amount of merchandise and the amount of, commerce that awaits you. You feel me? So make sure you come there with a few dollars ready to spend. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you come there. Let me know if this is better. Is this better or is the light better? Because when I'm recording it, I want it to look professional. You know what I mean? We got to work with what we got. So let me know, is this better or is the light better? Is it better light wise? Yeah, Texas in the building. You already know. Super duper love for Texas. Detroit is in the building. You know. Sanford, North Carolina is in the building. Peace to King Simon. King Simon is in the building. All right. You know. Do I ship clothes to the UK? Do birds fly? Do fish swim? Talk black to me. Of course I ship to the UK. FedEx? Trump didn't do an embargo on the overseas shipping. So, yeah, of course I ship. I ship all around the world. When these niggas start going to the space station with Elon Musk, I think I'll be shipping there as well. So yeah, we ship anywhere, brother or sister. Cedar Grove, North Carolina. Yo, these different places that I'm naming, these different jurisdictions that are all together. If we were to draw dots on a map to see how this web is connected, how all of these nodes are connected, how everybody, all of these different places that I called out, you know, all of these places where all of us are listening to the show tonight that reside in, this is a web, this is a network. This is pretty much how you build a power or a energy or a current, a grid. So if there's a computer scientist that's listening to the show, or if there's somebody out there who knows how to take all of these different, the connectivities and draw it out and put it on a scale and whatnot, I would definitely highly encourage you to do that. You know, one of the things that I need to learn as a hack for YouTube is how to tap into the analytics of, all of these, of all of the participants that tap into the live stream, or all of the participants that are watching the videos, like where do they live? What are their emails? You dig what I'm saying? Like, this is important information that we are not capturing. This is important information that we in the community who claim to have, we claim to be organizers. We claim to want organization, but keep this in mind. Always keep this golden nugget in your third eye. You know what I'm talking about? That the traffic, simply just the traffic that we receive on YouTube, right? Just the simple traffic that the conscious community receives from people around the world via YouTube. Just that data alone, the geolocation, the emails, and the phone numbers to everybody that's participating. That right there is that's how you organize. Like, that data right there is is priceless. It's priceless. To be able to know where everybody, information on everybody that's tapping in, that's getting the information, so you could be able to reach out to these people. You could be able to build bridges with these people. You could be able to organize and strategize and build with the people who are tapped in, watching you, learning from you, on your same frequency, wanting to invest in what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm talking about? That's a community. That's a network. The traffic is already taking place. There's no, when we make it, when we finally figure it out, when the black man gets his stuff together, when niggas get off of their ass. No, nigga, it already happened. It's happening as we're talking about some whole nother shit that's a distraction. The shit that you need is actually occurring. When you see a video do 100,000 views in one day, like a Tariq Nasheed video, right? When you see other videos go viral in one day, 75, 80,000, that alone is showing you that. Do you know what 80,000 looks like? Have you actually been in a place where the 100,000 people were standing, maybe chanting the same thing at the same time? Do you know the collective power of 100,000 people doing anything? Nigga, that's an army. 18,000 is an army. Have you ever been inside of the Barclays Center? Have you ever been inside of Madison Square Garden? Have you ever been inside of the Phillips Arena? The capacity when you go and do the research and when you go and do the numbers are 18,000. So there are videos that you could put online and they'll do 18,000 in a few hours, 20,000, 18,000. Do you know what that looks like? Do you know when 18,000 people decide to do something right at that time? Like imagine if you was in a studio and you say put your lighters up and then everybody, the 18,000 puts their lighters up all at once. Do you know what kind of energy that creates? Do you know what kind of resonance that creates? Do you know what kind of spells that could either break or that casts or gets cast at that same time? That's what these videos are showing you in the numerical, you know what I'm saying, form, that the collective energy is here. The collective energy that we talk about, that what we need, and we the people, and if only the people, nigga, the people are here. What are you talking about? The people are here. And people unfortunately have are scrambling for a few hundred. They're sinking their stocks. They're destroying their selves and their legacies and everything, fighting over a few hundred people. And millions of people are at your beck and call at this time. Do you niggas watch Game of Thrones? Do you see the importance of having numbers of allied groups come together to form a force or an army or a collective who's marching to a goal? The goal is the Iron Throne. I don't fuck with you niggas. Right? Hold on. Thank you for the cash app. Yeah. Pardon me, man. YouTube back with their gains. So yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Just hit the cash app and know that we in the trenches every day with developers. That we in the trench. You think we sitting around watching YouTube burn niggas up like turn into the mad dragon queen and burn niggas up? You know what I'm talking about? You think we gonna just sit around while they fly around on their dragons and try to burn up people on some censorship type of thing? No. We gonna get about that kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Don't, yeah, it's unfrozen. Don't worry about it. It was going through something. I'm back from the quantum realm. I had to tap into a multiverse real quick. But those numbers, those numbers, keep that in mind. Those numbers are important. You know, the key to a lot of things are in those numbers. The key to a lot of our success, the key to a lot of our, just being able to actually talk about something in the morning and by nighttime having the full funding for it, because collectively we all have come into an agreement, and it's as easy as pressing one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine on your phone. You there's no more you know what I mean? You don't have to go through any of the rigmaroles. You just press one or two. You feel me? You just press one or two. So, you know, all I have to say is the future is very, 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 very bright. Don't ever in your life allow anybody to make you feel like the future is not bright, or the future is dim, or the future is bleak, or You niggas, Negroes don't have nothing, no other responsibility other than to get shot by the police. Like, mm-mm. That's sorcery right there. You feel me? Like that's defeat right there. Teach the babies to code at an early age. I've been saying that since y'all knew me. This has been my regular conversation with the community since y'all knew me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the family, give me another teacher, because I need to have company with some people so we can have these conversations. But give me another teacher of the modern day teachers who have come forward to talk about the evolution being digitized, or talk about crypto, or talk about blockchain, or talk about all of these things. Not now when the shit came out in 2013 and 14. Coding, I've always stressed that, you know? And it just it does my heart a pleasure. You know what I mean? It lifts my heart. Yeah, Bitcoin is at 9 racks. You're right about that. That Bitcoin is gonna keep going up. So it hit rock bottom. It hit rock bottom for the purpose of what? To give people who are at rock bottom the opportunity to play the game. It hit rock bottom. Bitcoin fell on its face multiple times. And in the cryptocurrency world of traders, that only means that the goddamn door fell to the level of a mousetrap. So you niggas could sneak inside. It fell to the poor man or the common man's level where you don't have that many chips to play the game. But now you could get in and buy it at a cheap you could buy up. Now this shit is taking off. It's on this Elon Musk rocket ship. It's taking off. Did you invest when you had the opportunity, or did you miss this boat as well? Did you miss the same boat the niggas missed when it hit in 2017 and everybody was like, damn, if I would get a second chance out, and then they gave you a second chance, and now it's gonna hit through the roof. Make no mistake about it. Cryptocurrencies are going to make a very big impact before 2019 is out, especially when Facebook introduces cryptocurrency. That's why the minute they made that announcement, we begin to see the upward mobility of the actual Bitcoin. Because if Facebook and JP Morgan and other people embrace cryptocurrencies and they come out with a crypto, then the Bitcoin, because of its inception, because of its, because it was the early, adopter, it's naturally going to begin to climb. And it's safe to hold on to it again, and it's safe to trade it. But you better be very careful because there's a whole lot of hacking going on. There's a whole lot of like in the Matrix when they had the two twins on the highway. They have a lot of digital highway robberies taking place right now. Okay, Jon Snow versus Dracarys. You know what I mean? Yeah, Acoin has a coin. There's a whole lot of coins. You feel me? Acon, they got the Acon coin. You know, so we have the Guap coin. You feel me? We're gonna have our own coins. Make no mistake about it. We'll have the Fax coin. That'll be coming up. Make no mistake about that. Do you know the power of the current state of being able to trade anonymously in the private with cryptocurrency? You understand? You can't trade, you can't be a private citizen spending fiat and Federal Reserve notes with the IRS on your tail. That's impossible. But for everybody who's really about that life, for everybody who's really about what they say they are about, for everybody who really wants to live a lifestyle where they're not attached to this quote unquote matrix, then embracing not just Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, the actual blockchain. You have to be able to distinguish the blockchain from cryptocurrency. It's like apples and oranges, with the blockchain being of way more importance than what is known as cryptocurrency. The blockchain has been identified as the fifth industrial, what is that? I want to say the proper term so I don't say it out of context. But what they did is they compared the importance of the blockchain to the importance of when the internet was introduced to our people, and the importance of when the personal computer was introduced. These are milestones in technology. These are milestones in technological evolution, which affects human beings and our personal human development and our growth and development and in our evolution, because of the relationship that we have with the machines. Niggas talk about, oh, the machines are gonna be automated. Nigga, you been to a factory lately? They already automated. What are you talking about? You seen the TV show how it's made? Nigga, everything that's popping is automated. It's already there. We already with the machines. We already cyborging it. It's just reached the level to where our own people are extending automation by writing the code to the future. Okay? Case in point, if anybody went and listened to the interview by Idris Sandu, right? Idris Sandu, who was Nipsey Hussle's business partner in the Marathon Smart Store. He's doing a lot of press these days, and he's talking about his role not only in hip hop, but his role in society and global affairs. Because what is he? He's the coder. He's the one who wrote the code. He's the architect behind Uber's automated self-driving cars. Facts. It's the same thing that I pointed out in the lecture that I did in 2014 entitled "The Evolution Will Be Digitized," where I established the coding language to the computing system is West African in its origin. We're talking about zeros and ones. In computer language, it's known as binary coding. It's zeros and ones. Inside of African traditional system, it's known as the divination system. Those zeros and ones are translated as yeses and nos when you're doing your divining, when you're doing your magic, when you're divining, when you're tapping into a higher power. That's what's happening in this realm of computer. And then when we get into quantum computing, we're talking about, instead of zeros and ones, we're talking about a qubit, and it's dealing with zeros, zeros, ones, 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 zero, zero. It's on a whole nother dimension. It's on a whole nother myth. So quantum computing, the quantum internet, all of this quantum that we're being introduced to, the Avengers Endgame was the inception and the inception by ways of planting quantum into the minds of millions of people, because it made $1 billion. The goddamn, yeah, qubits are definitely infinity stones, okay? The qubits are infinity stones. Has anybody been keeping up with the D wave computers? Has anybody kept research on the D wave? Has anybody found out that they already came out with the first commercial quantum computer? Has anybody done the research on China introducing the quantum internet? You talk about 5Gs. What about the quantum internet? Okay, and what is going to be the capabilities when the quantum computers go online? Yes, of course, CERN has a lot to do with that and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But what happens when you Afro futurist, a futurist with an Afro can get a hold of a D wave computer? Because you cannot tell me that Idris Sandu can't do that. You can't tell me that that's not our quote unquote. Remember the dude from the Matrix. Remember the dude from the Terminator. The same. Remember the black lady Sophia Stewart. She says she wrote the Matrix and the Terminator. People don't mention the Terminator when they talk about her. It was one movie. Okay, the Terminator and the Matrix. That was Sophia Stewart's creation. So the black man and the Terminator who put Skynet, he was the coder for Skynet. Okay, he was the coder for Skynet, right? Remember, he was the one responsible for the whole Skynet thing. A black man, the same architect that you see, because I believe the architect was not supposed to be a white man. In the Matrix movie, the architect was supposed to be a black man, the same way that the Oracle mama, right? They showed you it's the white father and the black mother. Always they were the ones working behind the scenes. Okay? In the Matrix, they showed you the Oracle and they showed you the architect. That's the relationship that you see with the slave master and the mammy. Not really just the mammy, you know what I'm talking about? Not just the bed wench, but, you know, because she gave birth to the coons. He gave birth to, you know what I mean? And he's the birth of the white, from coming from a white womb, to uphold their program, to uphold their covenant. They have a covenant. You don't, you don't, you don't either you don't want to know what their covenant is, or people don't keep that in their frontal lobes when they're in the presence of anybody other than the people who you have a covenant to. Watch Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? Game of Thrones will teach you niggas you know, certain kind of medieval etiquette, because we are in medieval times, because this is the Inquisition, this is the Crusades, this is the Reconquista, this is the cross and the crown still at play in the because this is George Bush declared it. He said we're in the modern day Crusades. There was a pre 9/11 world and a post 9/11 world. There was a pre 7/11 world and a post 7/11 world. It's still numerics with them. There was 7/11 world, and there's a pre and post. Post 9/11 world, they threw niggas right back into the Crusades. They threw them right back into fear of a black or more Messiah. They threw them right back into the motherfucking Inquisition, where heretics, what? Where heretics will be sought out, burnt at the stakes, banned and banished. That's called capitulation. They would kick you out the country. They would kick you off the internet now. You know what I'm talking about? You was talking crazy. You a heretic, right? You was talking about, you know, you behind the scenes, you know, trying to teach. You know, you low key. No, people are gonna tell on you. That's the motherfucking in the Matrix when Agent Smith kept popping up from regular people. You know what I mean? Don't stop snitching. When the agents was popping up because regular people are becoming they work for the state. They're the eyes of the state. You gotta burn them up like the Mad Queen did yesterday. She had to burn up the whole goddamn city because they all cancerous. You know what I'm talking about? She came into King's Landing and burned them all up with the dragon. You know, they showed you in the movie The Matrix. They said it's all a program. If it ain't somebody unplugged, nigga, it's Agent Smith. They're all part of the program. They've all been programmed by the architect to be the eyes and the ears of this Matrix. And you see it every day. And then let's not even get into the cipher aspect of people who are inside of Zion amongst the other liberators and saviors and Neos and Morpheuses and Trinities. But these niggas want a piece of steak. These niggas want to be, you know what I'm talking about? They want to be all in the videos dancing and whatnot, doing what they do. They become ciphers. They allow the agents in. They allow Agent Smith in. Cipher allowed Agent Smith into a sacred place, which was Zion, which was supposed to be off limits, off grid, unreachable, unfuckwittable, solid. You know what I mean? But then what happened? The Sentinels come in and they breach the walls, right? They breached the walls the same way that they showed you in Game of Thrones in last night's episode, and even with the White Walkers when they breached the wall of ice, and then they breached the walls of the castle when the dragon blew the castle up and whatnot. They breached the walls of the kingdom, and then they marched in the kingdom, and the army surrendered, right, to their army. This happened in Moorish history. This is why I pay attention to this series, because there's so many different histories interwoven in the writing. It's all about writing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. We need writing workshops. Where are our? Well, I'm not gonna say this anymore. You'll never. Astaghfirullah. This is Ramadan. Let me put that in a jar. You know what I mean? And put that in a, throw that away. Because we don't have to ask that anymore. We know where the answer is. It's with facts2020.org. You know what I'm talking about? That's where those answers are. So salute to everybody that's signing up, you know, because you're definitely showing me that the aim of 10,000 members is something that's going to be fulfilled before the end of the summer. You know what I mean? That's a factory, you know. So we're gonna have we're gonna have writing workshops, because it's in the writing. The writing is where the crux of it all is. It's the writing. Yo, why do people like The Wire? Yo, why do people always talk about The Godfather? Yo, why do people, why was Boardwalk Empire, people always talk about it? Yo, it's the writing. You gotta understand. There's a level of writing taking place. There's a certain depth in characters, character development, certain kind of arcs, you know what I mean? The writers are obeying certain kind of, either they're non-conventional or they're going conventional, and most of that is the Arsaurian tale or the hero's journey. Most of these stories are following the same. The whole Game of Thrones is the Arsaurian tale. The father got beheaded, Ned Starks, the king. He got beheaded, he got killed. And the whole family, Jon Snow, is Hayru, avenging his father's death. He got killed and brought back to life. That's set. That's the story of Hayru. What are you talking about? Jon Snow is Hayru. His father is Osor. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that that's him. What I'm saying is, you find that story everywhere that you look, right? You find that story, you find the Asaurian myth in all of literature. What I'm saying is, nothing is new under the sun. There's still, it's Henrietta Lacks all over again. They're still eating off of your template. They're still building off of your template. The Petri dish of the original DNA of the original Henrietta Lacks Hella cell would be the blueprint, would be the Asaurian tale, the story of Heru, Osset, and Osar. That story now has been retold, remixed, reimagined, remastered thousands and thousands, if not millions of times throughout all of history. Keep this in mind. This is not a racist thing. This is not a, it's been retold throughout all of history. I'm just giving you a glimpse of your importance and how because if you are the story. So if the story is interwoven and everything, that's why you could find yourself in all of these stories, all through Hollywood. Because the Khazars and the Ashkenazis and those who study us and those who are writing from our books and those who they if They were all exposed to Moorish science. They were all exposed to Orientalism. They were all exposed to Occidental and all of these other, the wisdom of the Gnostics and things of that nature. Like it, nothing interrupted that. They was exposed to Kemetic science. These people were in the lab breaking down and translating and going through all of our cloth. Remember, we have books of real cloth written in calligraphy of real cloth. I'm dead serious. Of silk. I'm talking about life-size books with gold leaves and all of that. Gold reliefs. Big shit. You think that if they buried our ancestors in pure gold for their funerary mask, what do you think they were doing with our literature? How do you think our literature was put together? If they put our ancestors together to cross over when their body was turning into a husk, right? If they dressed you up on the way out, imagine how they was dressing when they woke up like this. You know what I'm talking about? Imagine how they was putting it on when they was awake. If they put you together like that on your way out. Talk black to me. Use your imagination. You feel me? Use your imagination. It's 333 and only 85 likes. That doesn't add up. Let's do proper math. You know what I'm talking about? So, no, we were elaborate. Everything that we did, everything that we do, everything that we're known for, everything that can be proven through history, through science, through biology, through architecture, through archaeological proof is our greatness going back and spanning to places that their computers, their goddamn all of the scientific ways that they have to tell the quote unquote history. Some they can't even tell they can't determine how far back some of this stuff goes. Like their computers don't even go that far back. This is who I'm talking about. These are the people that I'm referring to. So we don't have to get all, you know how people get all funny and shit. We was all kings. Was we all kings? No, nigga, we was all in kingdoms. You know what I mean? All of us were belonging to kingdoms. We don't have to be a king. You, when you come up in a kingdom underneath a great king or alongside or amongst greatness, you yourself rise to that occasion and the whole kingdom could be great. What are you talking about? We had kingdoms filled up with greatness. You dig what I'm saying? Almost akin to how people are on Black Twitter and they have their Black excellence, groups and whatnot. Like we had collectives of Black people who are great all the way up to right now. It never went away. It just multiplied and it transformed. You feel me? And it transformed. Shit. When you look at all of the teachers who have come to us in 100 years, the amount of information and light that these teachers were able to shine on us, the amount of resources that they were able to provide us with their information, the amount of gems that they were dropping and jewels that they were dropping. Yeah, red goldstone. The amount of jewels that they were dropping. That's greatness. People can't complain about that. People can't act like they living in lack. People can't, find fault in the fact that they was given the motherfucking infinity stone, the motherfucking time stone, the reality stone, the energy stone. They was given all of these stones by these masters. By these masters. If you sat at the feet of Dr. Ben, if you sat at the feet of Dr. Clark, if you sat at the feet of Dr. Sabi, if you sat at the feet of Dr. Valentine, if you sat at the feet of Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen, Dr. Henry Clark, Dr. Jack Felder, What are you talking? You can't give me no excuse about why you can't do something. You can't give me no excuse about why this white man this. Or you can't even say the word white supremacy out your mouth. I can't get mad at people who just got into this shit, but niggas like you could get back smacked. You know what I'm talking about? How dare you let that word come out your mouth? How dare you give them white people all of that power, knowing that your master teachers never talk like that? They never talk like that. I promise you. You ever heard Dr. Sebi give white people power? You ever heard Dr. Sebi act like a victim about white people? You ever heard Dr. Sebi talk like he was fearful of some fucking peckerwoods or some cracks? Some crackers? You ever heard him say, you ever heard him give you niggas bad news on a Facebook scroll? No. He was talking about accomplishments. He was telling you who's popping. He was telling you who to listen to and who to fuck with. That's what he was trying to put you on to. He was giving you plans on how to build a community. That's what he was doing. You ever heard Dr. Ben give white people power? You ever heard Dr. Ben talk about what white people did to us in victim mode? I never heard that. I never heard that. I never heard Bobby Hemmett cower to no white folk. I never heard him sound mad moist when he was talking about what white people are doing to us. Who's these new niggas? Like, where did they come from? Who these niggas y'all be listening to? Like, who's steering the bus? Because it's a lot of victimhood. And I'm not talking about everybody's not on that wave, but you know, for the people who came up underneath the master teachers, like, you should be going super hard in the paint, bro. If you got the if you got the information that we got when that, because there's a whole bunch of people to be like, oh, I was getting this shit before there was the internet. Nigga, you should be teaching 100,000 people right now. Then fuck is you talking about? Like, where's your teachings at? If you was giving, if you was getting all of this shit before the internet, if you was in the library, nigga, where's your books? You feel me? Where's your documentaries? Where's your lecture? Where's your thesis? Did you do anything in the last 30, my nigga? Or you just still watching DVDs and looking for young niggas rookie cards to hold on to? You know what I'm talking about? And try to take pictures with niggas at lectures or something. Like, what are you creating? Because other than that, you may be mentally masturbating, or you may be hoarding the information, or nigga, you just may be, you know, part of a big ass fan club that you never knew you belonged to. But how dare niggas walk around these streets with their heads high, knowing that the people who came before you are fucking icons and legends, and when they were here, you niggas didn't treat them like that. How about that? How you niggas walk around with your heads high, proud with your fucking chest out, knowing that a lot of niggas sat in front of at least 5 master teachers, and these niggas is not acting like master students? How? I'm telling you, niggas is mad arrogant in this community. You know what I'm talking about? They sat in front of masters, bro. They sat in front of masters, and the masters gave them niggas the game. The masters told them what the fuck to do. The masters told niggas what to do, and a lot of niggas forsake the motherfucking teachings of these masters. They did not listen to it, and a lot of people did not necessarily apply it. You feel me? They rather listen to what Soldier Boy tell them niggas to do than to follow what the master teachers are saying. That's a fact. These niggas was looking for a way out and they found it. And that's a fact. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in these streets. Where you at? You know what I'm talking about? I know the pulse. I'm in these streets. So this shit has no parental guidance. It's a wild, wild west. You know what I mean? It's a proverbial pigsty. It's the fucking YouTube check bonanza. You feel me? Niggas fighting for a Google stipend. It's a whole bunch of gremlins out there that popped out of slime or a stripes back fighting for stipends on YouTube. There's no more teaching. Shout out to KT, the Arch Degree, Minister Inky. You know, I like what they doing. Teaching, going in. But the level of distractions, the level of the fact that, people are not even, there's no, the networks are not even being built. Nobody, the bridges are not being formed. And more bridges are burning than being built. That's right. There's social networking and then there's social media. So are we going to enter the age of social network as a collective? Because I'm guilty of everything that I just lambasted, nigga. I was in social media heavy. Are we going to do social network now? Because I play in both worlds. But I'm ready to go super hard and do social networking. I'm no longer interested in social media as a, it has done its motherfucking duty. I'm 10 years deep in social media. I've done my part. My impressions, my reach, my metrics, all of that shit is off the motherfucking chain. I should be chilling with, I should have Gary V numbers right now. But that shit is play. It's there's a ceiling to that. It's social networking time. We don't even know the potential that we hold in social networks. I promise you, I promise you, we can show you 800 ways on how to level up financially, socially, economically, spiritually, uh, tax bracketly. I mean, there's ways to level up utilizing social network. Not asking nobody to help no one. No, my niggas, we don't do that. You never see a fucking cup shaking over here. No, challenging those amongst us who say they are who the fuck they say they are. Nigga, if you are who you say you are, pull up. It's simple as that. We don't have to get intricate. Like, I don't even want to have no drawn out speech. If you are who you say you are, pull up. Shit, you know who the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying? Let me meet you. Let me find out who you are. You know who I am. I introduce myself to you. You know what I mean? I pull up every Monday to chop it up. I bring you inside of my world. You know what I mean? I let you in. I don't gotta do that. You know what I mean? I don't have to be on YouTube. I don't know if you understand that. Like, this is not my life. I have a fully functional, off the chain, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I gotta slow life down so I could get on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, please be clear. I gotta slow the shit down so I could give you niggas an hour or two. But my life is fully functional. So I don't even need to be on the internet. And being on the internet, the shit done made me hot. You know what I mean? Like, the shit done made me hot. Fame is a drug. Oh no, don't get it twisted. I appreciate and I love y'all because, like I said, I understand what this network thing is. I understand the power of what it is that we're doing. I know that the evolution is being digitized. I know that we're in the midst of that. I know that when we said it years and years and years ago, that it was taking place as we were saying it. And this is an evolution. So it's my duty. This shit is my duty. I don't think, this is a duty. This is something that, I'm obligated to do because I don't want to talk to myself. You know, niggas put a camera on a phone so I could talk to it. So let's network. The Las Vegas footage and that Los Angeles footage will be on my Patreon page only. There's some information in the Los Angeles footage with Mama Angelique that I don't want to be sharing with the rest of the world through YouTube because it's very disrespectful. People don't give you credit. They'll snatch your footage, chop it up, and do all kind of stuff with it for clickbaits. So for my patrons, I need some Patreon. I need y'all to hit up that Patreon. That, if anybody ever was like, yo, what is it that you need us to do, Red, right now? I need patrons. I need y'all to be the patrons because patrons are patrons. And all of the projects that we have in front of us, all of the projects that are about to open up in front of us when other things begin to open up, you know, the patrons are going to be the ones who are going to create the environment for a lot of things to take place. A lot of equipment, a lot of traveling, a lot of booking, being able to book venues, being able to, set things up, being able to, because I'm about to go on tour with the Facts 2020. That's a whole campaign. you know. There's a documentary that's going to be done. Shout out to my brother, Mr. G, who was at the event this weekend called Elevation. I'm going to talk about that real quick. Mr. G is a producer on the Dr. Sabi documentary with Nick Cannon. So he was in Brooklyn and he came through to the event that we had on Saturday, which was a super duper success. It was legendary, called Elevation. I have clips of that on my IGTV, and I'm gonna upload some stuff to YouTube as well. What I want, oh, think about Aisha Curry. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So that was a powerful, that was life changing. That event. The Patreon is Red Pillar. The name on the Patreon is Red Pillar. Anybody, if Empress B 444, you could put that in the chat. So, and yeah, the Patreons, that'll get me to your city. That'll get me, that'll help me finish these books. That'll allow me to do a lot of stuff that I need to do. But the reason why I'm not doing it is because I'm doing 10 other things. I have a lot of resources tied up into all of these income streams, all of these endeavors, adventures, you know. Like I said, you have to live every day like it's your last. One of the things that 2019 is really showing me is the fact that time is a luxury, okay? Time is a luxury. There's certain things that, you might have driven past the marathon store and was like, yo, I'm going to go in there one day. I'm going to stop to tomorrow and get a shirt. Now you're like, damn, what if I would have went in there and seen Nip and Idris and his pops and Sam and shit like that. Like, you got to take advantage of the now, and you got to put in work. So we putting in work. I don't know how else to say it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, show me others. Like, give me some names. But I know that we working. you know. And if you want to see more work, if you want to see the quality of a work improve, if you want to see the work increase, you play your part. You know what I mean? As a patron, going back to the Game of Thrones, back in those days, you had artists, you had artisans, you had even warriors who would cut heads off, and they had patrons. The patrons were there to encourage the talent to say, yo, we recognize that you are unique. We recognize your value. We recognize that we want you to fight for us and to work for us in this kingdom. Because if not, if this family didn't patronize, or if they were not patrons of that talent will carry its talent somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? That talent will go to where it's being where there's some patronage. So shout out to all of my Patreons. I appreciate all of y'all. I'm going to be uploading some exclusive footage to you very soon. So look out for that notification. Yeah, you feel me? So look out for that notification. You know, but make no mistake about it. It's like I said earlier, what a fucking time to be alive. What a time to be alive. You know, can you feel it in the? Can you feel the frequency of the importance of where of the presence of the present? Do you know the impact of the world of that you're having around the world in the now? Yeah, I could tell you a thing or two. You know what I mean? You should go and look at your metrics. You know, go and check out the numbers. You know what I'm talking about? It's big numbers. So people around the world are benefiting from the collective push that black men and women in America, in the Caribbean, and also in the diaspora are doing to wake other black people up, other melanated people up. One of the most selfless acts of kindness is to teach somebody else something that they don't know, or to give them the truth when they were inflicted with falsehoods. You feel me? And that's being done on a mass scale, whether it's being done if they painting it with a ratchet brush, because people get their information across with a ratchet brush. Some people get their information across, with a heavy hand brush. Some people get their information to brush with a fine tune brush. You know what I mean? Different people paint differently. We all out here painting. You know what I'm saying? We all out here painting a picture. We all out here trying, as visionaries, as Afrofuturists, Afro surrealists, we're out here giving the family a vision of not only who we were, not only who we are, but who we are going to become. Not only who we gonna become, who we already became. Okay? Because they digging shit up from a time that came after this, you know. But that's what we do. We paint pictures. Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Valentine, Dr. Bobby Hemmett. It's no coincidence that the majority of the people that I named are fine artists in their hobby life. They know how to draw. Okay? Dr. Phil Valentine is on record. He is the creator of Galacticus, the Marvel comic character that they stole from him, Galacticus. So these teachers, when you really think about it, like close your eyes and think about if these teachers are masters at painting pictures. Close your eyes and just envision when you listen to one of these teachers speaking about Africa, or they're speaking about the human mind, or they're speaking about the electric body, or they're speaking about the 18th dynasty. They're able to paint that goddamn picture. They're waking up your third eye. They're actually on some halogen, Oculus Rift, virtual reality, you know, time warp or time zone drifting, time machine, you know what I mean? Activating through the griots and through their teachings and through their programming and through their code writing. That's what they're doing. That's a fact. They're so good with it that they transport some of their students into a time zone, right? And those students get stuck in that time zone. Some of these niggas is stuck in that 16th dynasty. You know what I'm talking about? You got some people stuck in the past. They walk around like they're really in, medieval Europe or something. Or I'm just saying. That was due to a teacher. That was due to somebody whose oratory skills were so convincing and so compelling that he was able to transport somebody's whole mind and consciousness into a whole nother time zone, into a whole nother space-time continuum. You know what I mean? And You got these people stuck and they're right there. They're in that they're living in that place to the point where they will begin to change their clothes. They will begin to change their get up to reflect the way that people dressed and the way that people looked in that same time period. Similar to what you see in Game of Thrones, behind the scenes, how they dress their characters up to be in character, to play a role, to be in a certain kind of time zone, because the uniforms and the way that people are dressed, it ties into a lot of things based on the perceived times. Yeah, stupid. Okay, I'm gonna have to deputize somebody with the wrench. Who want the wrench? Oh, you want, let me give you the wrench. Okay, you good, Empress. I have outfitted you with the wrench. It's like Thor with the hammer. Hmm. I now gave you the Thor hammer. Get busy. So, you know, don't let nobody fool you, man. Like, don't let nobody lie to you. You feel me? Don't let nobody lie to you, B. Like, this shit is not what you think it is. This is not what you think it is. You know. Oh, let's talk about that Vlad situation. I already talked about that Vlad situation on the last Melanin Monday. I said Vlad is a Slav, right? Think about it. Vlad is a Slav. This is a fact. If nobody goes on Vlad TV, India, thank you for your donation, your gifting. All right. He's a Slav, not a Slab. A Slav. He's a Slovakian. Do you know? Do you know that there are books? One of the books are called White Cargo. White Cargo. Okay? What up, T Killer? White Cargo. Then there's another book. There's another book, and that book speaks about the original slaves, right? From Eastern Europe, from the Caucasus Mountains. The word slave, the word slave derives from that word or from that tribe. So the original slave in the 400-year jubilee of the end of the slave, right, is sitting at the top of the journalism of hip hop culture, online journalism, hip hop culture, right? Vladimir the Impala sits on top of it. The black owner of World Star Hip Hop by the name of Q is now an ancestor, rising power. So his partner is a European. We don't really know who that man is. So we're not even going to factor in World Star Hip Hop. That's a whole nother conversation that we have to have in another day, to whereas we could collectively come up with an agreement that are we going to hire a group of quote unquote white hat, black hat people from hackathons, people who can actually interrupt services, or people who can go ahead and crunch some of the information that we may need to create our own world star, you know, to create our own world star, our own version of a world star. I've been calling for this for years now, for years upon years, and I think that we are embarking on the time when that's going to become a reality real quick. People are now seeing the importance and the overall the damage and the overall the arc that world star hip hop has on a global galactical level, and the picture that it is painting and the damage that it's doing to the black man's stock on a global scale, and the quote unquote um, the one-sided, one-dimensional or two-dimensional depiction of an endangered species of man and woman who are doing some monumental things in the trenches, in the hoods, in the jails, in the streets, in the lecture halls, on the internet. The brothers and sisters that are out here teaching, reaching, you know what I'm saying, preaching, all of these things. Like, you don't see that side of us on World Star Hip Hop. You don't see the side of black excellence, and you don't see enough of that. You don't see enough of that. You don't see our sisters celebrated for their intellect along with their beauty, because I don't want one without the other. They celebrated for everything. Don't just give us one side of, our women. Don't just show them as twerkers, or women who are fighting rambunctiously in the streets. Control your narrative. Gotta stop playing games. It's about control. It's about ownership. It's about disruption. It's about disrupting the shit that's not working for us and doing us unapologetically, building a wall that no dragons could penetrate, that no white walkers could climb up. You feel me? Building our own wall. So let's talk about Vlad again. So Vlad is so comfortable with our people operating on a lower frequency in his presence, or not checking him when he tries to shift the conversation to situations that can indict us, or not checking him when he immediately jumps into any situation to talk about us in a negative, something that was a negative affair. Like, why wouldn't Vlad have the conversation about Dr. Sebi when Dr. Sebi was alive? He can't say that he didn't hear about him. He can't say that he's never heard about anybody in our community doing things that quote unquote Europeans have never done or are not known for doing. Not to say that they're not healers out there that are European. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Vlad is a part of the hip hop culture. He's in our house. So how did it take you that long, and why would you even come out the side of your neck try to, you know, question something that you obviously don't respect? Did you hear his do you hear it in his conversation? He cannot fathom. He does not want to admit he's comfortable with niggas this deep, like Lord, not to take a shot at Lord Jamar. That's the God right there. And Lord Jamar handled him. And he always handles him. But Vlad is only comfortable with black men who are deep, right? Who could, they could spar with him and answer questions. But what he's not prepared to recognize, and what he's not prepared to quote unquote, pay homage to, is black genius. amongst us who are not only, you know, known for their contributions, right? But they still have something to offer. He's not inviting those people on his platform. You would think that those people did not even exist. Yes, yes. Lord Jamal's definitely checking Vlad the Impala on a very intellectual checkmate type of thing. I didn't see him. I know he was on Yada Mean podcast. I didn't check that out, but I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna check it out. But when it comes to vanguarding our ancestors, we should have protocol to where we are contacting either next of kin or people who could speak from a factual place so they could support, they could protect the legacy, and they could protect the elders if they're under attack. You understand? We don't need to have barbershop conversations about, no, bring in an expert who can speak from an expert point of view about that man and shut homeboy down so we don't have to go on with the back and forth and things like that. Yeah, he has to give the key back to the house. That that's unacceptable, you know? He definitely got to give the key back to the house. Niggas should not let him in the house for a very long time. It's not about Vlad questioning. Vlad has been questioning the Dr. Sebi thing now. He's had a personal hard on for Dr. Sebi currently in the last ever since Nipsey Hussle made the announcement about doing a documentary. He's been playing not devil's advocate. That nigga been playing devil. Like, I don't know if you realized it. And then the way that he's coming, the you the way that you know the tonality, you know how a person's talking about another person. You, it's unnecessary jabs. It's the shit that he's saying. He's called him Dr. Dre. Like, no, fam, you don't do that. And I don't think people really just need to hear Doc's story, man. It's bigger than a court case. It's bigger than what they're trying to minimalize him to be. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. So when that movie comes out, because it's not just gonna be about the court case. And shout out to Nick Cannon and Mr. G. They're gonna be in Atlanta this weekend. So family at the Malcolm X Fest prepared to be in a documentary. And one of the things that I know about my Baba is that his spirit is very, very powerful and he's working from the ancestral realm. So we're going to see, oh yeah, you already know, we're going to see how this Vlad situation is going to work out from a spiritual realm. For people, sometimes you just got to show people better than you can tell them. And you're gonna see, you're gonna bear witness the power of Dr. Sebi from above, from the higher realms, coming down like that dragon on Game of Thrones last night, bunning shit up. He's working. Please believe that. Put him on your altar. Talk to the doctor. Talk to the good doctor. Put him on your altar. Dr. Sebi's in the spirit realm cooking, nigga. Please believe me. I'm not just saying that just to say it. I'm dead serious. I'm dead ass. So Vlad needs to go. Uh, Lior needs to go. A lot of them need to go. Y'all ready to push him off the cliff? You ready to push him out? A lot of them need to go. I promise you, because this shit is not gonna function the way that it's supposed to function with the people who've been robbing and stealing and putting knives in other people's backs and holding back the real for decades. Nah, they need to get pushed, like Pusha T. They Like I said, we just need to build our own. We don't need the record industry. We don't have to be a part of the record industry. You have direct to market. You have decentralized platforms. We don't need them, period. I should not even be talking about them. It don't, to do a concert, you don't need them. To make a song, you don't need them. To do an album, you don't need them. Like, you don't need World Star and you don't need Vlad TV. You know what I'm talking about? You don't need them. Fuck out of here. We the industry. I'm gonna show you. Sign up to facts2020.org. I'm gonna show you the people. The power is in the people. It has been taken back. They would not tell you this. There's not gonna be a Netflix series that's gonna explain this. Nobody's gonna get on the fucking roof and scream it. But the power has shifted. The people are the power. I don't have to sell it to you. It's a fact. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look around you. It is a fact. Everybody that's moving as a collective unit is winning. They in the race with your ass, and them niggas are a few kilometers up in front of you. The people that are working collectively, they're winning. They're running the marathon faster. They're getting things, they're achieving things in a quicker time because time is of the essence. We're in the quickening. Shit is speeding up. So you gotta run the ball with your team. You gotta run as a collective. You gotta run as a ant farm. You gotta run organized. You gotta run like the Avengers. You gotta create. You gotta form Voltron. You gotta connect the nodes. You gotta build a network. You have to be able to get that web and invigorate and energize that web, but connect those nodes, make those links. Your network is your net worth. Okay? Your network is your net worth. It's not just a cute saying. It's some shit that we should really be looking inside of, reverse engineering and unpacking. What does that mean? And how can I commodify that? How can I take that and make that an app? How can I take that and make that part of my intellectual property? How can I use that as an algorithm to solve problems? How can I do it? So, facts2020.org. You know what I mean? We got to make our own thing. And we're going to make our own thing. And we have enough talent amongst us right now. Bro, we got Idris Sandu in hip hop. So hip hop is coding at Apple. So hip hop is coding at Instagram. So hip hop created the explore page on Instagram. So hip hop helped do the quote unquote spectacles and the AR and Snapchat. That's hip hop did that, nigga. So hip hop cured AIDS because Sabi said that we did it. He ain't say I did it. He said that we did it. He said Annette Thomas administered the first patient, Frank White, and then he said we cured AIDS. Okay, so black people and vicariously hip hop, we did it. So hip hop is in all of these buildings, in all of these spaces. So we here. And what I'm saying is this: the solutions that we've been looking for are here. Okay, I want to shoot a video, so hit me up when I hit Houston. Why isn't the Cash App in the super chat? I don't know, but then the Cash App is Phil Moreland. Could we have the Cash App on the pin? Could we pin it? Could we pin it? Yeah, hip hop is definitely, there goes the Cash App right there. Thank you, Empress B444. Hip hop is the biggest culture on the planet. Hip hop is the, leading genre in music. Shout out to all of you savages at the Rolling Fest in Miami. You know what I'm talking about? I hope anybody that went there came back alive because it seems like niggas was getting locked up and shot up at the Rolling Loud Fest. Okay? You know, uh, it's crazy. Everybody got shot there. These little savages is crazy, right? The young savages be, that's deaf culture. That's all deaf culture. That's your deaf culture right there. We get glimpses of it, you know, but there's no higher vibration in hip hop than, you know, the deaf culture, the mumble rappers, you know, the NBA young boys and things like that. Like that's all shoot 'em up, shoot 'em bang bang, gang gang. You know what I mean? That's all bottom. You know, that's that red chakra. That's that bottom of the map. You know, that's the after hip hop was dead, the zombie mode. Like that's the undergirdings. You know what I mean? That's the underbelly. You know,